This is an intensive and focused series of asanas and flows that will help you to perfect your king pigeon. Or if you have not yet gotten there, it will help you to get closer to king pigeon. This course was designed for the beginner to the intermediate yoga practitioner. So basically, if you're new to yoga, advanced practitioners can also benefit greatly from this routine because it will help you to maintain and also enhance your current level of flexibility. It is important to continue to practice all of these moves to create length in the muscles, health in your joints, as well as maintain your flexibility. This asana is also known as swan pose, flying pigeon pose, and the Sanskrit name is Ekapada Raj Kapotasana. It is an advanced seated back bend, and it stretches the hip flexors, groin, and chest, as well as shoulders. It requires significant spinal and shoulder flexibility. You really want to approach this pose very, very carefully because it puts intense pressure on your knees as well as your lumbar spine, so your low back. It's important to follow along with me today in King Pigeon Prep so we can do this safely and correctly, as well as get all the benefits of the pose. There are physical benefits as well as mental and energetic benefits of completing this pose. It opens your hips, it gives you more mobility all around, as well as stimulates your internal organs and basically helps things to flow along naturally. It offers an energy boost by stimulating circulation, as well as calms the mind and clears out emotional tension. It's a very artistic pose and is used a lot in advertising because it is very majestic. If you're a beginner, it is highly recommended that you have straps and a block ready. So come onto your mat and let's start our King Pigeon Prep. Let's sit on some blocks or a stool, and what we're going to do is knee circles. Really gently, you want to rotate in a large circle, your toes pointed. So you're kind of putting your knee through its natural range of motion. When you get into a pigeon pose, you will notice there is a lot of pressure on your front knee. So we want to avoid that and make sure that the area is warm and pliable and ready to move in all of its natural range of motion. You don't ever want to go against that natural range of motion. The knee only goes certain ways, and a lot of people get into trouble with king pigeon or regular pigeon because they put all of the stress on their knee, which is not correct and can do damage. So remember, if your knee is feeling stressed, you want to get into the correct position. Some more knee mobility work. You want to come onto your knees in a kneeling position. Spread your knees about hips distance apart and just kind of sit back onto your heels and come back up over and over again. You may hear some clicking noises in your hips and knees, and this is normal. This is why it's very important to do this warm-up. If you can, sit all the way on the ground and then rise up. You will feel a little bit of strain on your knees, but it should not hurt. You're just lengthening the area very gently. So now lie on your back with your knees bent. This move stretches your knees as well as your hamstrings and your glutes. So put one ankle on top of the other knee and bend that bottom leg. Then pull the farthest leg towards you, holding that leg almost straight. You can see how we're really gaining a lot of flexibility in the hip flexors. You can probably feel it in your hamstring as well and your knee. You can cradle your upper leg kind of like a baby, holding your foot in your knee. Hold for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then let's try to stretch that leg out as straight as possible, keeping the bottom leg, knee straight and toe pointed. Bend and cradle again. Repeat this on both sides. If you do these stretches daily and hold them for a sufficient time, you will have a full king pigeon in the shortest amount of time possible, which I estimate can be around a month or two with extreme devotion and dedication. However, if you do this approximately once a week, it could take a few years. All right, so let's get into Pigeon. So you can have blocks ready, you may need them later. If you want to get into a pigeon, you need to always come in through downward dog. So come into a nice downward dog. Let's walk out our knees. Now we're going to go into a three-legged dog. So elevate one leg, toe pointed, as straight up towards the sky as you can. And then bend that front leg into a pigeon. Make sure you have your knee adjusted so the weight is not on your knee. You should just feel a great stretch in your hip flexors and groin. Let's work on bending our back leg and increasing our quadricep flexibility as much as absolutely possible. Again, this is the type of exercise you need to repeat frequently, and you're going to see dramatic results. If you curl your hands out in front of you, you can get into reclining pigeon. Here you're going to feel the stretch in the front leg. Alright, so let's crawl back up from there. Now let's work on some different variations of your standard pigeon. Make sure to pull your toes backwards as much as possible while resting your weight on your outer side of your leg and glute. Now turn all the way to each side as much as possible and feel your spine elongating. You can use the blocks to increase your spinal flexibility as well as depth in standard pigeon. So here you see I can decrease my forward lean and make sure the pressure is on the right area, which is my groin and hips. Let's bend our back leg again and work on that quad. You will notice by making tiny adjustments, you can decrease the distance between your groin and the floor. You can make sure that all of the pressure is in the right areas. Now with your back foot bent, let's get into mermaid pose. You're basically looping your left arm around your left toes, and then you can grab that left hand with your right. This is a great transition into a king pigeon. Now very slowly, let's come out of the pose so we don't hurt ourselves. And let's do the same exact set of moves on the other side. So let's warm up for a flow, combining these moves we've learned so far. First, let's rotate our neck from side to side, releasing any stress and tension you may be holding in your upper back from the drills. Let's also rotate our hands to protect our wrists, as this pose can be taxing on the wrists. Three-legged dog, knee in, three-legged dog, knee to elbow, work on your ab strength. Now let's repeat that on the other side. Getting ready to come into a pigeon. So now drop into a full pigeon. And let's rotate again to the left and to the right. You may hear your spine gently cracking, and that is okay. Using blocks, come into a partial reclined pigeon. And then stretch out that quad. Reclined pigeon again while stretching the leg. Let's do a mermaid pose. Try to hold the pose and balance in it. Shake out your knees in down dog. And let's repeat on the other side. If you have stuck with me this far, I have to say, excellent job, and I hope you join me for my other asana prep poses videos. All right, so let's do some cool down moves. What you want to do is stretch out your shoulders. So with your palms flat on the ground, you're going to lean back into bent elbows, feeling the stretch under your arms and your upper back. Let's now get into a shoulder stand and then a plow position, reversing the stress on the lower body and placing it now on the shoulders. Let's work on a forward fold upside down. Gently lengthening your quads and your hamstrings. Let's do also a regular forward fold. Feel your back and the back of your legs releasing. And as always, when we complete a flow, we want to relax in Shavasana for 5 minutes or more. Just let the blood flow and feel very accomplished.